So tensions between you and Governor Fubara, has been escalating, and
The what? The what?
has been escalating.
The what? I mean, the what and what?
The tensions.
Which tension?
That's what we see, and so it
Or
appears
what
that
you think?
So you're going to give us your views on that, and so we're wondering, why does this conflict appear very difficult to resolve?
I'm very surprised. What is difficult to resolve? Mr. President, the sovereign of our nation, in his own wisdom, in his own fatherly way, say, look, you come, you come, you come, you come, you come, you sit down. This is the problem. I want this problem to be resolved. You go, withdraw the impeachment notice. You go, do this. You go, do this. You go, do this. You, elder, read it for everybody here. Elder, read it. Do we all agree with it? Yes. Elder, what about you? Yes. We agreed. Fine. The parties went home. The assembly withdrew the impeachment notice. You now do this, do this. You did one, you did two. Then you send people to go to court to hang the other one to say, oh, people went to court. Elder, have you gone back to Mr. President? This assignment you gave, we have done one, we have done two. We're not able to do 3 and 4. Please, Mr. President, can you call us back? See whether we can find a solution to 3 and 4. Since 1 and 2 have been executed. Nothing. Nothing. The next thing you see, oh, somebody did this, somebody did that. Mr. President, in his wisdom, Mr. President, sometimes when people play politics, you play politics, the president says, you come, you come, you come. You were hearing when they were saying, President, or they were political, were not constitutional. I have never seen that happen in my life. A president of a country will call people, sit them down, do this. One party goes, it's political, it's not binding, it's not constitutional. Come on, who does that? Who does that? Who does that? And then you people are talking about conflict, tension, this and that. You went and you seized assembly people money, their salaries, everything, took it. And you are running with 3-member assembly in Nigeria. All of you, journalists, appearing in your television houses, appearing, justifying.
Including the court.
No, listen, never. I have always told people, it's not wicked. It's not about wicked or who. It's not about me. But how you will tell me in a democracy, it's only in Nigeria. Okay, take it for example. You say those 27 people defected. Assuming, don't know conceding. You sit down, tell me, one person is a speaker, 2 are members, are the ones doing law for a state. And everybody sit down discussing, hey, but they defected. It is, I said, look, it's not my business. It's Nigerian democracy. Tomorrow it will be one person. Tomorrow it will be one. So the issue of tension, it does not exist. The tension being created by you people who have refused because of their interest, because of their commitment. Take, for example, I say without no apologies to anybody. When I see what happens, how media will be scrolling in the bar, tarnishing images of judges, that judges collected bribe, scoring, even somebody gives you that news item. Assuming somebody pays you for that, can you do that in a civilized country? In a civilized country. But it is what is being discussed. You malign, you damage. I'm happy. The day the court gives them judgment, democracy, rule of law. The day the court does not give them judgment, the judges took bribe. Arise will be, it will be the first morning they will discuss it. And that is where we are in this country. That's where we are. Yeah. Because do you think it's wicked? Oh, I don't like wicked. It's not about wicked. It's about the country we are talking about.
Your Excellency, just to take off from there.
Yes.
It seems that, your interest politically are a little bit interesting, really, now, because even your party has two people claiming to be national secretary.
Yes.
At the state level, we have two ESCOs carrying the banner of ESCOs as well.
Yes.
Are you now taking this, as you have said, this don't look approach?
It's the same people. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. When I tell people, tomorrow they blame the judiciary. Tomorrow PDP will blame the judiciary. You cannot keep your house in order. Tomorrow you go and find some media houses to say this. See how the courts are interfering. What is the problem? What is the problem? It's unfortunate they have a man, they say is a former Senate President, Fubara. So unfortunate, so unfortunate. If that man was my father, I would disown him. If it was my father, or he was related, I would have disowned him. He doesn't qualify to be. No wonder Mr. President Obasanjo made a presidential broadcast. It was under his tenure. Obasanjo made a broadcast about corruption. Presidential broadcast. That's the man leading PDP Board of Trustees. This is a man who led people, came to this is my residence. Beauty. How they want to reconcile matters. They went back to a state high court without suing INEC. INEC is a necessary party. INEC was one who observed the election, the National Convention. You went to a state and sued that the National Secretary ought to have resigned. What is the provision of the Constitution of the party? What did the Constitution say? Assuming do not conceding that is supposed to resign, he has to be replaced by election, not by appointment. Assuming do not conceding. He was elected, he was not appointed. He was elected in convention. And then you say, oh, he's no longer there. That the Southeast should bring another person. Even if Southeast will bring, will it not be by election to replace him? Will you go and bring someone and say, we have brought this person in your house, come and replace him? But that's not the point. They want an appeal. Appeal gave judgment 2-1. They filed for a stay of execution. Some governors, in their own wisdom, manipulated. No, they should not, that since, yes, a stay of execution has been filed, but it has not been granted, so let him go, let another person be. The same people, the zonal vice chairman of Southeast was removed by court. The zonal vice chairman from the Southeast was removed from court. There have not been any appeal. None has there been any stay of execution. They did not even say, okay, let's implement that. That one should not be implemented. The one that should be implemented is one national secretary. Unfortunately, there was an interim order of staying down. But apart from that, there was a judgment of the Federal High Court, which INEC was a party to, saying that this is the national secretary of the party. This boy, whom they now want him to be national secretary, applied to be joined in that suit. The court dismissed his application. He did not appeal against it. PDP did not appeal against that judgment up to today. You know, when you shoot yourself, these are they dig their grave, and they will enter in that grave. They say, oh, the court is doing this. You are the one digging your grave. The convention is coming this December. As right-thinking people who want their party to survive, will you not have said, gentlemen, what are we really doing? The convention is December. What are we talking about? Why can't we keep our house and do this convention by December and usher in a new executive? What do they want to do? Oh, no, that's when they remove Wike. None of them has what it takes. They don't have what it takes at all, not one. Be it the board of trustees, be it whatever governor you think you are. I am prepared for it. It's not a new thing. It's not a new thing for me. This is my territory. No. I've never survived without any reason. How can you see people do things? You say you love your party, and instead of you to do the right thing for your party to survive, rather you're causing more crisis in your party. Convention is December. You want to remove the national chairman. The court has given a pronouncement. Court said no. You cannot. It will be by convention that you can remove or bring any chairman. He said no. That it is zoned from it is coming from North Central. We never zoned to North Central. The zoning was North and South. But I assume they're not conceding that North Central. You cannot bring an appointed chairman to oversee NWC that's elected. You cannot do that. You know, they say that all their problem is, oh, wicked. Look, anybody who knows me know. I have never, when I said I was not going to support their presidential candidate, I never hid it. I said I was not going to support, and I will not support. Up to today, I stand by it.
Your Excellency, let's take you back to Rivers State. Because when you were answering the question with regards to Rivers State, you sort of spoke in parables that not many people would understand.
Yes.
Now, in Rivers State, the state's exco, the state party exco, the one that many people believe is loyal to you, has been sacked by the court.
By which court?
By the court. Now, many people believe
that
the argument here, Your Excellency, is that you are slowly, not my words now, but the general notion, slowly losing political grip with regards to the PDP in your state.
That is television you watch. It's not what we're talking about on ground. Let me tell you. You know, I've always said I don't want to talk about judiciary. It's unfortunate you have tried to push me now to talk about state judiciary.
Carry on, Your Excellency.
The Federal High Court gave a nod for the election to take place. INEC was a party. And directed police, they shall allow the Congress, and they took place. Now let me tell you, it's unfortunate I will say this. Who is this judge that's granting these orders? State High Court judge every day. Who is this judge? You know, I feel so bad. This was a judge I refused that when NJS recommended I will not be sworn in. Why? When the State High Court was locked up by my predecessor, this judge was the Deputy Chief Registrar of the Customary Court of Appeal, Stephen Jobo. You remember that NJS recommended Justice Desi Okocha to be the Chief Judge of Rivers State. My predecessor refused and appointed the President of Customary Court of Appeal, Justice Agumabo, to be the Chief Judge and NJC sanctioned him, suspended. How can you do that? Now, during that period, they used this deputy chief registrar, who is now the judge, Stephen Jumbo, siphoned the funds of the judiciary when the judiciary was locked up under lock and key. I came as governor. Justice Dezo Okocha became the chief judge. And we saw how monies were being shared. They divided the judges. These judges are loyal. These judges are not loyal. They were paying allowances to these judges. And they are not paying to these judges. And as they said, no, I will not allow this. I'm going to write to NJS, who cannot allow this. Justice Dezo Okocha pleaded, please, 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 allow, please, just let it. You know, sometimes you feel so bad. Pleaded. Say, please, please, please. I don't want this mess. When I see people talk, I just look at it. Now, when Dezo Okocha left, Justice Lomikron became. And I said, my Lord, can we allow this? He said, Your Excellency, I know it's wrong, but you see, let everybody. JSC indicted this judge, Justice Jumbo, of, look at the funds of the court. When the court was not in session, who was spending this money? When the court was locked for 2 years, who was authorizing you? There was no chief judge, so who was authorizing you to be spending this amount of money? I wrote to the NJS, I said, no, that's kind of thing. And then they said, you know what happened? This young man went to court. He lost. He went to court of appeal. And then I now left office. What the present chief judge did, they now went back to say the state was not opposing the appeal. And they say, oh, the man has won court of appeal. And then they now went and swore them in. Now what they now do, every political case, they now assign it to him. Then he will be ditching out others. As far as Wike is on this side, he will dish out others. Now, that's why he gave an injunction for people not to do Congress. It's on appeal. They went back again and filed this order. Meanwhile, people are fighting in his court. He gave order that should be Congress, which we have gone on appeal. People again came back to him to fight that they were the ones who are supposed to be. You know what they did? They did not join. Of course, INEC was not. They did not join INEC. They did also join those who were elected for them to be able to defend themselves. They did not join them. They now said PDP. Now, what they did criminally, to align themselves with the legal advisor of the party at the national level, who now took the processes without telling the party. And then they now went to the state high court and agreed with the plaintiffs. And they now entered judgment. Look, you just laugh. We have been writing the judge. He gave us the judgment. No problem. Let us have the proceedings. No problem. You know the final court, there's an appeal court, there's Supreme Court. No problem. Give us. Oh, no problem. You've done your own part. Every time, every day, you will see one state high court. Look at another one. A matter the Court of Appeal gave that 3 people cannot sit to make law, appropriation budget. They appealed to Supreme Court. A state high court recently by Justice Aprioku said no. 3 people can. 3 people can pass a budget, make law for the state. When the matter the Court of Appeal has given and they have appealed to Supreme Court, Justice Apriaku of the State High Court. Why did he do so? A building collapsed when I was governor. His brother was the man in charge. Somebody died, and I said should be dismissed. Yes. Now, for him, we can dismiss his brother, who was a civil servant. Therefore, anything that causes Wike is involved, I will do this. How can a judge of the State High Court, when the Court of Appeal has given a judgment, which they have appealed to Supreme Court, now sit down to say that the state, the government can deal with three people?
Your Excellency, there are more questions.
In our state judiciary. Yeah. But at the end of the day, everybody will see. For me, go ahead, do whatever you want to do. But as far as you're not the final court that will determine, I have no problem.
There are more questions. Sambo?
All right. Excellency, we must thank you so much for taking time to exhaust this, because a lot of Nigerians have been waiting for that. Just very two quick questions, one at the national level and then one at the local level. You are the poster boy of the APC-led federal government at the moment now.
No, withdraw that.
I mean, we receive...
I will always want you, please, we're having a media chat.
Yes.
Use a language that
okay.
appropriate for
So I want you to talk to me as having come from the opposition. What's the problem with the PDP and opposition parties, political parties in Nigeria as regards our democratic growth and development at the moment? And then the second question is, I'm seeing some sort of subtle politics in FCT when it comes to area council with the issues of revenue collection. FCT IRS has said that in 2025, they are going to be collecting revenues for FCT area councils. But some of the local councils are not comfortable with that, saying that, PDP, APC, and all of that, they are having challenges.
Aside from that,
what do you have to say?
You are talking about harmonization and not allow multiplicity of taxes. Okay. And why not allow businessmen to suffer? What are the taxes collectible by the local government? What are the taxes collectible by the FCT? Remember, every month we give to area councils 10% of every tax we collect. Every month. As the month ends, if we have 40 billion, for example, 10% goes to the area councils.